Well, hello there, friends. Welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer from Sun Dragon Paper and Lace, and we're going to start with doing part 3 of this vintage dress journal featuring Art House Whimsy's beautiful digitals. She is on Etsy, and she's got a lot of wonderful digitals that, look at all this, I've printed and downloaded, but she's got beautiful images to work with for your journals. Anyhow, let's get started. I think on part 2, I was putting this book together with the paper bag. I think I got this is part of the vintage dress here, the fabric all along here. And now I have gone in and kind of shabbied it up, shabbied the pages, sewed them in. I decided to make the spine, the stitches on the outside like this instead of inside. And I used three strands of cordage and put it all together this way and braided it, put a bead there, and there's my external part. So what I wanted to do really is I want to make this into a topper. And as you can see how it's been cut, I didn't get quite where the white is. And I put it on some photo paper. I copied a lot of these images on photo paper only because it just gives more of an authentic feel. And what I'm gonna do is maybe just brown the edges and see how that works, if that kind of hides the white. And if you notice on this one, my cutter made these marks, which is fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and use some sandpaper on there and put scratches on it to give it more of a vintage feel. And I like that type of a look on some photos. Yeah, I think that works. Doesn't look like there's any white showing anymore. And what I want to do is maybe back this with a cardboard to make it a little bit more stiffer, shabby the music paper behind, and maybe I should cover this too with something more neutral. Yeah, so that's the plan. But what I wanted to do is show you the pages of this. I want to put a pocket here. I haven't quite decided what kind of pocket. And if you saw my video that I posted on swatches, this is that beautiful 1800s paper in the 1800s, and it just looks so, I just love how the colors just go together, the gray, gold, and peach. So this is a vintage French check book, and a lot of these pages are vintage. Here's the grays and the browns, blues. Made a pocket out of that. And this is a digital that I backed with an original invoice. There's some Asian rice paper there, or calligraphy paper. That's original. And I got this tip from Oh, Barbara on 49 Dragonflies, I believe is her channel. She likes to put things a little crooked and wonky, and I thought that was kind of cute. It kind of breaks up everything. This here is a digital. I went in and I what do you call this? Grunged up, or not really grunged, just kind of made it look shabby. Shabbied up the pages because I kind of wanted this shabby, the contrast between shabby and I don't know, I guess it's like fantasy kind of. And this is a envelope that I'm going to use as a pocket, just as a slide in. And then, so there's about like 15 pages here. This is the back side now. And there's a pocket here. And this is towards the front. There's that paper from the 1800s, and then I'll put a pocket here. So, and this is the back. That's how this looks. Give you a closer look at that. And then the center is like that. Okay, so let's get started with making the ephemera. And I need to make this I kind of want to make this a little bit bigger. So let me mark where I want to cut this. Will this fit this way? No, okay. Because I want some of this to peek out. And then I'm gonna cover it with something. Not sure what yet. But I'd like to cover the back as well, just so that the recipient can use this as a journaling card. So if I do that, I don't know. Let me look here. Let's see if I've got something to cover that with. But I want something bright enough to, that would be pretty. Well, maybe I can do the front like this and then the back more neutral so that you can see what you're writing. Yeah, you think? Maybe? I think that would be kind of cool, maybe. I've got so much paper and it's all over the place. And it just boggles my mind that half the time I can't find anything that I want. All right, let's go here. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make this the top of, I'm going to cover the top of my journal card. Come on, it's not getting. Oh, where'd the mark? Is this the mark? Where'd the mark go? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. And then I'm going to cut this. It's going to be, I want it to be a little bit bigger because what I'll do then is just, after I glue it, I'll just sand it down so that the edges are a little bit smooth, or smoother anyway. And let me see. Glue pages. Let's do this. I like using this type of glue, the stick glue, because it's, well, this one is soft. There are others out there that work really well, but I like using the stick glue because it doesn't wrinkle like the wet glue on thin paper. Make this nice and smooth, and see, and I'm not too worried about the edging right there, because when you go through and you start sanding that, it comes right off. Easy peasy. Okay, so how's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone's doing fine, doing well, having a good time. It's Sunday right now here in sunny Southern Oregon, which is not sunny right now. It is overcast, but weather prediction is supposed to be in the 70s next week, which I'm excited for. I don't know, does that look all right? I guess I'm just gonna roll with it. Let's just roll with it. I'm really digging this image though. All these images. Look at that. This dress is just beautiful. I just love that dress. Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do next is glue this. Got all mushy. Okay, I'll glue that onto this. One thing you want to be careful of is because when you're printing, you've printed on either paper or photo paper. If you are gluing, just be careful to not remove the ink. I've done that so many times where I put glue on the image and then I try to remove the glue with a wet wipe, and that doesn't work. The ink comes off, so that kind of becomes a bummer. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna crinkle this up. I'm just gonna cut, just tear a few little pieces here, like that. And then I use my, this is pretty worn out. I probably need more, use another thing. I'm not gonna do this too much, but you know, we are kind of going for the shabby look. And I love the dresses that these girls, these flower ladies are using. Again, go to Art House Whimsy on Etsy. She's got a lot of beautiful images there. Okay, hey, that doesn't look too bad, right? Okay, let's shave this paper down. See how easy this is, maybe. The paper just comes right off. And then you go around and you can ink it up, but I want to add the back. I'm going to add something to the back to make it writable, I guess. So you can write, I mean, you can write on the back of this, but it's just not pretty. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's get more baby wipes just in case. And let's find some pretty paper for the back to write. Actually, you know what would be really good is just coffee dyed paper. Coffee dyed paper always works. If you can't find what you want to, any thing neutral, coffee dyed paper is always a good go-to. So I just want a little bit on the edge so I can sand it. It just makes it gives it a cleaner look. Where did my pencil? Did my pencil run out of lead? Did I use, was that, oh no. Okay, in fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tear it. Yeah, you know, I'm really getting really excited to go to Coos Bay, to Donna and Leslie's workshop, Junk Journal workshop. Can't wait. It's not till September, but it definitely is. Where'd it go? Where'd my... There it is. It's a long, it seems like a long ways away, but it'll be here before I know it. I know it. So. And then we're gonna go, and there's like one day to go antiquing. Is that gonna be fun? Go to an antique shop. I cannot wait. It's gonna be exciting. And to be able to meet other people that are into this craft, because to be honest, I haven't found anybody here in my area. I don't understand. Not into junk journaling anyway. You know, a lot of times they still junk journaling isn't a thing. People around here don't know what junk journaling is, and it's been around since before the pandemic. Probably what, I want to say 6 years, maybe more. Maybe it could be 7 years or more. I don't know what junk journaling, how it was back when it first started, but I know that I was into art journaling before junk journaling, and scrapbooking before art journaling. And I think the digital age has really evolved, gotten away from the scrapbooking, because, you know, everybody just takes their pictures on their camera now. And they rarely, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of scrapbookers out there, but I used to sell close to my heart stamps, and I was really big into that. I was more a card maker than a scrapbooker, but it worked for both. So, and they did have good quality stamps. I don't know if they're around anymore. Not sure. I guess I should let this dry before I started sanding, but I'm trying to get through this for the sake of the video. Okay. Now I want to round the corners a bit. Let's do 10, if it'll do it, because it's still kind of wet. Oh, it did it. All right. Yeah, it's always good to do things like this, like the cutting and the sanding, when your glue is dry, because when it's wet, it doesn't always work out very well. But so far, I'm getting lucky. Okay, that's good. Okay, just want to make sure everything is all nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. And then let's kind of distress a little bit, ink up a little. Oops, I hate it when I do that. It'll be okay though. Okay. All right, there's that. And then we're going to do this like that, and that'll be our topper. I might put a saying on there. Something missing. Maybe cheesecloth around here, something really shabby. Let's just pretend. Let's pretend that this is here. Let's see how that looks. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like it even all lopsided. Just like that. I like it like that. What do you guys think? I wish somebody could just tell me. Wish there was somebody here and just give me their opinion. Okay, so let me see. I don't want to lose the angles, so I want to start here maybe and tear this. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so pretty. So pretty, pretty. And then I don't want it. Oh, I dig it. I really dig it. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is too straight right here, too clean, not shabby enough. Much better. I love it. God, there's just nothing like lace, I'm telling you what. I just love lace. Okay, so since this is fabric, I am going to let me see if this is, oh, come on. Okay, good. This is Fabri-Tac or Fabri-Fix, either one. I think one does more than the other. I think like Fabri-Tac does wood and glass, along with fabric and paper. So I usually just buy what's on sale. I get it on Amazon, and I'll buy, you know, a set of 3 or 4. I think they come in the sets of 2 or 3, and you can get a good price on them. And they last me pretty well. You know, I can't really gauge on how much they last for me right now because I'm not crafting as often as I like. When I was crafting quite a bit, it still lasted me a good amount. Okay. And now to see, I don't want it, I want it just like this. That's too straight. Too straight. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. What do you guys think? Isn't that pretty? Oh, the lace just made it. The lace just added that extra something. And then maybe if I can put a word there or something, a saying like peace or serenity or something. Something beautiful. Something beautiful. Oh, I love it. Okay, so this is slow going, but you know, we're gonna make, next I'm gonna make little ephemera bits out of these photos here. I'm gonna make tags, and we'll make little tiny little tags, and then we'll add them and embellish this journal. And yeah, and we'll see what we get. Looks like I need to put, yeah, I still need to put pockets here on the inside of the cover. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you continue watching. Thank you so much, new subscribers, and those who like and subscribe and share. That I really appreciate all that you do for me. Until the next time, bye bye.